Caleb and Maddie and I have been working, and so...
Forget the rest of the Brown family. Janelle is the only one who can inspire adoration without drama.
It's time for a cruise.
Janelle Brown has been spotted aboard a cruise ship, and, predictably, she's causing quiet waves of excitement among fellow passengers. Not the paparazzi kind. More the restrained, internal shrieking variety, where admirers rehearse conversations in their heads while pretending nothing unusual is happening.
She asked Robin and I to take over the open house.
There's something endearing about Janelle in this context. Unlike many reality stars, she's approachable without being self-promotional. The kind of person one imagines could be interrupted at the buffet without summoning security.
She's a sister from the same mister, and he's a brother from another mother.
Admirers joke about staging a fake skirmish with her just to hear her laugh. A far cry from the worshipful distance typically reserved for reality TV personalities. Naturally, curiosity follows her wherever she goes. Who is she traveling with? Is she happy? Which cruise line was lucky enough to book her? Rest assured, this is no Plexus-sponsored excursion. From the looks of it, she's enjoying an Alaskan voyage, a refreshing change from the endless desert backdrops of her television life. The fact that fellow travelers hesitate to bother her says a great deal. Janelle is perhaps the only member of the Sister Wives universe who inspires admiration without the baggage of spectacle.
Productive, contributing members of society.
She's recognized not for drama, but for the impression that she's genuinely down to earth. A rare distinction in a cast built on chaos.
My name is Janelle.
In short, Janelle can't order a plate of shrimp cocktail without igniting speculation, affection, and the faint hope that she'll crack a joke. And frankly, that's the kind of celebrity presence most people can live with. Kody Brown claims he's a devoted father, so why does Christine's book expose him choosing laundry over his dying child? Christine Brown's memoir is many things: candid, confessional, and at times jaw-dropping.
It was bad before COVID. It's been 10, 12 years of bad.
For once, the rose-colored glasses are off, and the result is a portrait of a family every bit as dysfunctional as viewers long suspected. The first shock is her unflinching regret over the move to Flagstaff. For years, the Browns tried to paint that relocation as a bold new chapter. Christine admits what everyone else tiptoed around. It was a disaster. Uprooting every wife and child so Robin could keep Dayton nearby in college was selfish enough, but Christine reveals the others didn't even know the true reason until a month after the fact. So much for always putting the children first. The decision gutted their stability, and Christine now says outright that it harmed her kids. Refreshing honesty, albeit a little late. But the book doesn't stop at poor real estate decisions. It pulls back the curtain on outright neglect.
And Truly has essentially kidney failure.
When Truly was dangerously ill, Christine begged Kody to help. He refused, choosing instead to fold laundry at Robin's house. Laundry, over a child's life. Christine later admitted that if Truly had died, she would have left him. One wonders why her daughter's brush with death and Kody's indifference wasn't reason enough to leave then and there. Adding insult, Robin betrayed Christine's private fury by running to Kody with it. Yet Christine stayed, giving Kody ample opportunity to fail again, most memorably during Isabel's spine surgery.
If we're going in September for the surgery, I don't think I'm going to be going.
The surgery debacle remains one of Kody's most grotesque failures. Declaring that he had to consider the whole family, he abandoned his daughter during one of the hardest moments of her life. Then, when she begged him to sing to her over the phone, he declined because he didn't feel like it. The cruelty is staggering. Christine recalls Isabel weeping for her father, her self-proclaimed daddy's girl, while he sat comfortably elsewhere. It's the kind of story that confirms beyond doubt that neglect was the norm, not the exception. Christine also lays bare the pettiness that drove Kody's decision-making. Blaming the Raiders moving to Las Vegas as part of his rationale to uproot the family is laughable enough, but his spending the family's first TLC check on a two-seater sports car rather than his children's needs borders on parody. Meanwhile, Christine was left paying off medical debt alone, Because apparently, fatherhood ends where responsibility begins. Then there are the revelations that cut deeper than logistics or finances. Christine describes numbing herself with wine and oxy during her lowest years of filming, exposing the psychological cost of the perfect plural family facade. She admits being raised in a cult, and raising her children in one. And in perhaps the book's most shocking confession, she reveals she didn't experience her first orgasm until 2 years into her marriage, and even then, by accident. It's a line that lands like a thunderclap, confirming what many suspected. Christine wasn't just unloved in her marriage, she was unseen.
I got 2 portions of my family that I'm not even seeing.
What emerges from these pages is a relentless theme of favoritism, deceit, and women trapped in a system designed to keep them clinging to scraps of affection. Cody lavished attention on Robin while neglecting his other wives and children, and Janelle and Christine often failed to choose their kids over their own desperation for Cody's approval. For all their public insistence that they were always about the children, the truth looks far different. In the end, Christine's memoir strips the illusion bare. The Browns weren't a quirky, unconventional family bravely rewriting the rules of love and faith. They were a cult-bound, patriarchal mess, carefully packaged for television. And Christine's words finally confirm what the footage only hinted at. Everyone argues over Team Christine versus Team Robin, but what if the real villain was never either of them?
I'm going to be the head of my household again.
The true villain in this saga is not Christine, Robin, or whichever wife happens to be under the microscope at the moment. The culprit is the system itself, a system designed to disguise inequality as righteousness.
Jealousy, those things, those are all things that we really truly believe.
In polygamy, jealousy isn't treated as a rational human response to sharing a spouse. It's condemned as weakness.
Why did you enter the principle?
From the beginning, women are conditioned to surrender intimacy and partnership for the sake of an abstract principle.
It wasn't in the rotation.
Over time, what is clearly imbalance no longer even looks like imbalance. It simply becomes life.
But we're not the polygamists you think you know.
Viewers, of course, get caught in the same trap. The show packages this toxic structure as entertainment, reducing systemic dysfunction into soap opera rivalries. Instead of confronting the corrosive design that forces women into competition while keeping one self-important man on a pedestal, the audience debates personalities. Who's toxic? Who's lazy? The questions miss the point. Every wife has been indoctrinated into a role that benefits no one but the man at the center. The real story is not their squabbles, but the normalization of brainwashing within the family, within the faith, and even among the fans who watch.
I have adopted a faith that embraces that lifestyle.
Christine's memoir is refreshing precisely because it breaks this spell. She rightly places responsibility where it belongs, on Cody and the church that trained women to serve a family structure designed for male elevation.
Jealousy from the public, the tabloids, from sister wives,
Her generosity toward Robin is striking, especially given Cody's endless theatrics about protecting his innocent victim from Christine's supposed cruelty.
I feel your marriage is terrible.
Christine makes it clear that Robin was hardly her chief problem. The true damage came from Cody himself.
It was always about framing, like it's almost like I have this paragon.
Even so, Christine acknowledges Robin's role without overstating it. Her habit of reporting back conversations, twisting narratives, and redirecting focus to herself. But compared to Cody's manipulations, these faults are minor.
So how did you, was there jealousy?
That was actually one of the questions.
The deeper truth lies in the fact that both Christine and Mary experienced jealousy from the very beginning. That jealousy was not evidence of personal flaws, but proof that the system itself was untenable. For many, the disappointment came in watching intelligent, strong women endure this for so long without collectively rejecting the arrangement. The hope that they might eventually revolt kept viewers watching, until the slow realization that indoctrination runs deeper than resilience.
And whose house was that?
Oh, it was Robin's. Robin's to blame for everything.
And this isn't me just being dramatic.
And really, a Team Robin? That alone proves how effectively the show distracted its audience from the only team that matters: Team Freedom.
Everyone thinks Robin won when she became Cody's favorite. The truth? She won the game and got stuck with the worst prize in reality TV history.
Generally, what happens is anytime Robin is slighted, and I'm sure you've seen this happen.
Robin Brown didn't just want polygamy, she wanted to win it. She positioned herself as the favorite, the perpetual honeymoon phase, the hot one with the exclusive privilege of spending everyone else's money while enjoying breaks from Cody, secure in the knowledge that he'd come crawling back.
And everybody here at this table has been really easy on me about my rules for COVID.
She craved power disguised as devotion. Now that the thrill of dominance has dulled, the question looms: what's left for her besides a bitter, aging narcissist, spending habits she can't sustain, and the dubious honor of holding one of reality TV's worst reputations?
Like, I found out later how much he was involved in Robin's home.
Her downfall isn't just poetic, it's instructional. Robin may have won the prize, but the prize is Cody Brown, and that's hardly worth displaying on a mantle. The irony is glaring. Every wife wanted the exact same thing she did. Christine would have stayed if she'd been treated the way Robin was.
It wasn't in the rotation.
Mary, once head wife in charge, would still be perched on her throne if she'd held Robin's status.
And to be honest with you, I really don't know if I want to do the work. Like, it feels like I'm being forced to.
Janelle would have remained loyal had Cody continued to favor her independence and her army of sons. Each woman stayed as long as she was winning. And the moment they weren't, they left.
They're not welcome to this house without this conversation.
The Brown family saga is less a commercial for plural marriage than a cautionary tale, a masterclass in why the system is designed to implode.
It's almost like what Robin wants.
Robin, however, isn't allowed the dignity of an exit. She schemed for the crown, reshaping herself to fit every one of Cody's grievances with the other wives. She became his perfect partner not out of love, but out of survival instincts, born from childhood trauma as the daughter of a second wife. She studied his complaints like scripture, tailoring her appearance, her words, and her demeanor to fit his desires. And because of this calculated devotion, she has remained permanently in his good graces. Yet the cruelest twist is time. Robin once mocked the others for weight gain and fading fertility, but she is now in her 40s, past the childbearing years she leveraged to secure her place. Imagine her reaction if Cody found himself another 30-year-old wife, slim, fertile, whisked away on Hawaiian getaways while Robin watched from home. After all, wasn't this the polygamy dream she signed up for?
The kids.
So Robin and him mainly live together?
Yes.
In the end, Robin got exactly what she fought for, Cody all to herself. But she overlooked one crucial rule of the game. The other women could walk away, and they did, taking their independence and much of the family's resources with them. Robin is left alone with her so-called victory, holding tight to a man who is no prize at all. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
Robin Brown doesn't apologize. She rewrites history.
Sorry, I don't know how to let this go.
Has Robin Brown ever admitted she was wrong? The short answer, no. The long answer, absolutely not. In the ever-growing catalog of Sister Wives drama, every other participant, yes, even Cody, has at least managed a half-hearted acknowledgement of fault. Robin, however, treats accountability as though it were a contagious disease. Instead of admitting mistakes, she defaults to a tired rotation of strategies: feigned confusion, tears on cue, or the ever-reliable role of martyr.
I never wanted an apology.
Take the endless apologies she receives from the other wives, many of them prompted by whatever fresh guilt trip Cody has concocted. Rather than simply accepting an apology, Robin stretches the moment into a performance, rehashing at length just how terribly she's been wronged. It's less forgiveness, more hostage negotiation.
Well, I was mad at Robin too, just because I was just mad.
Christine, for instance, once went out of her way to clarify that her frustration was directed at Cody, not Robin. Yet Robin ignored the words entirely, clinging to her version of events in which she was, of course, the victim. This revisionist history then resurfaces later, paraded in front of Cody as proof of her supposed persecution.
Stressed out, I don't know if this is the right size.
I got the t-shirts last night, very, very late.
And let's not forget the infamous t-shirt incident. Robin accidentally orders Janelle the wrong size, only to sour when the shirt flatters Janelle's figure. The expression on Robin's face, somewhere between biting into a lemon and losing a crown in a caramel, wasn't just telling, it was damning. It reeked of petty jealousy wrapped in false contrition.
I've realized lately, though, that maybe by the time I came in the family...
On the rare occasions Robin does inch toward an apology, it arrives padded with self-serving disclaimers. I only did that out of love. I never meant for it to drive a wedge. Her words are less about taking ownership and more about varnishing her halo. Every misstep is recast as a noble sacrifice tragically misunderstood. The pattern is unmistakable.
Treatment.
Literally.
She was gaslighting.
Because for the past 8 years, she's made herself the victim.
Robin doesn't apologize. She rewrites. She doesn't accept accountability. She manufactures victimhood. And in doing so, she proves, time and again, that in her world, contrition is for everyone else. The Flagstaff move wasn't a family decision. It was a setup. And the evidence is hiding in plain sight.
For 3 years now, I've been trying to explain to my wives that we were going to leave Las Vegas.
The move to Flagstaff remains one of the most blatant examples of manipulation dressed up as family consensus in the Brown household. On the surface, it was presented as a collective decision, complete with binders, discussions, and Cody's usual pantomime of neutrality. But peel back the performance and the truth emerges. This was never a choice. It was a foregone conclusion.
The charade began with Cody's insistence on acting like the bewildered patriarch, fiddling with his phone and asking for input he had no intention of taking.
I'll tell you, this is a trick that I've played.
He played devil's advocate with Christine in the car as though he had just discovered reverse psychology.
What I'm looking forward to most is the smell.
All while parroting strange justifications about a liberal city in a conservative state. It was theater. And not particularly convincing theater at that.
I have a tendency to be cautious.
Meanwhile, Robin sat conspicuously silent during family discussions, denying involvement in the infamous photocopies, but making sure to push urgency on the move. Her silence was not ignorance, it was complicity. Her folded hands and knowing nods gave away more than her words ever did.
I was accepted into Northern Arizona University.
Then came the smoking gun. Dayton's enrollment at Northern Arizona University. Anyone who has ever navigated college applications, especially for specialized programs, knows this process takes months of preparation. NAU's autism program is outstanding, but acceptance into it is not secured overnight. The timing makes it crystal clear that Dayton's education was already in motion before the family's decision to move was ever presented. Which means one of two things. Either Cody was confiding only in Robin, leaving his other wives and children in the dark, or the entire family was dragged into upheaval for a plan that had already been set in stone. Either way, it was betrayal disguised as leadership.
House on the market right now.
That gives Gwen and Gabe and Aurora.
And what a price the rest paid. Gwen and Gabe's thriving extracurriculars.
He needs grandmas.
Maddie and Caleb's return to Las Vegas with the first grandchild. Aspen and Mitch nearby. Logan and Michelle still local. All sacrificed so Robin could hover over Dayton. The original three wives gave up homes they owned for uncertainty in a far pricier market. Janelle never owned another house. Christine and Janelle were pulled away from their own children so Robin could sit closer to hers.
Okay, so in our family discussion, you're quiet.
The cost fell on everyone except Robin, Dayton, and, of course, Cody. Even the props betrayed the scheme. At the so-called presentation, the binders handed out contained landscape-oriented pages. The original wives flipped theirs incorrectly at first, adjusting once they realized. Robin, on the other hand, opened hers straight to the right orientation. She'd clearly seen them before.
Aspen got married a month and a half, 6 weeks before we moved.
Christine, in her book, muddles the timeline, mixing up Aspen's wedding date and the exact moment Dayton's acceptance was shared. But the slip matters little. Her account still reinforces the broader truth. This move was about Dayton, not the family.
All right, so tomorrow we're leaving. We're launching at 8.
It was hurried, illogical, and steeped in favoritism. No one moves 4 families without securing housing unless urgency has already been manufactured. The Browns did it once in Las Vegas under emergency conditions. Pulling the same stunt in Flagstaff only underscores the pattern.
The conclusion is inescapable. The Flagstaff move was never about the collective. It was about Dayton, Robin, and Cody's carefully concealed partnership.
Later, and I was like, why did you do it that way? And he was just like...
The rest of the family were little more than collateral damage. They sold us the dream of a big happy family. What we got was favoritism, neglect, and kids fading into the background. In the sprawling chaos of the Brown family, one child seems to have slipped into permanent invisibility. Solomon.
Bye, Solly. Give me a kiss. Yes, give me a kiss.
Once showered with affection as the baby of the family, he now lingers in the shadow of Ari, who quickly claimed the coveted role of youngest and therefore most adored. The pattern is familiar.
There. I wish that everybody valued Saul and Ari the way that, I feel like there's a lot of...
Cody Brown has always centered his attention on the latest edition. Unless, of course, that child happened to be Truly, who was inconveniently born during the Robin era and promptly overlooked. Cody's parenting, if it can be called that, operates on a toxic mix of favoritism and outdated gender roles.
What part did I fill in, and what's going to happen when that part's not there anymore?
He expects his sons to be rugged, athletic extensions of himself, bonding only with those who can toss a football or wrestle on command. Solomon, raised in Robin's hyper-sheltered household of frills and fragility, never had a chance.
Ari's 6 and Solomon is 10. Solomon is more like me. He's kind of quieter.
Robin treats him like glass, but what he actually needed was the rough-and-tumble camaraderie of brothers. That opportunity evaporated in Flagstaff, when Robin conveniently cut off extended sibling interactions because Ari's nap schedule took precedence over Solomon's social life. The result?
Somebody's got a pen. I wanted to do something kind of memorable for his birthday.
A boy once surrounded by siblings and love, now reduced to playing Legos alone while his mother shops online. His best companion, Truly, was effectively barred from him, despite the fact that Christine would have gladly welcomed the child into her home.
I like the idea of helping raise...
The great irony of polygamy, the supposed village of children, died the moment Robin locked the doors. One only has to glance at Solomon during family gatherings to see the consequences. He looks miserable, a ghostly presence next to Ari's constant spotlight.
Did you make friends?
Yeah. Yes.
And while Ari's helpfulness was spun as charming, the fact that her teacher sent a disciplinary note home on her very first day of school suggests a more ominous reality. The inevitable teenage rebellion will likely give Cody and Robin the chaos they've so carefully avoided and richly deserve.
For me, where I finally had to admit she's leaving it, and I had a meltdown.
The broader picture is equally bleak. Robin's children exhibit severe anxiety and panic attacks, and her son's diagnosis has been a moving target, inconsistently described over the years, while Cody blithely labels it Asperger's.
It has Asperger's.
Apparently unaware that the term is outdated. The family's dismissive attitude towards science and mental health guarantees that none of these children will receive the evaluations or support they so obviously need. Looking good on camera and stroking egos have always taken precedence over addressing reality.
My job is to protect her and my older kids.
Meanwhile, the adult children are the clearest testimony to Cody's failures as a father. His relationship with them is strained at best, hostile at worst. If history repeats itself, Robin's children will eventually sever ties too. at which point Cody will undoubtedly cast them as villains in his never-ending martyrdom saga. In his narrative, every child is bad, every wife disloyal, and the only innocent victim is, conveniently, himself.
The tragedy is that Solomon's sadness is not a mystery. It's the inevitable outcome of neglect, favoritism, and a household more concerned with image than the well-being of its children. He isn't just fading into the background. He's being erased by a family dynamic that prizes the spotlight over substance. If you don't want to miss the next chapter of Cody's Vanity Project, hit subscribe.